2000s, you're not alive, really. Hello, chat. So, guess what I've been doing? I switched back over to Arch. Switched back over to Arch, and I downloaded 13 gigabytes of updates and 877 packages because I haven't used Arch in like however many months. So I had to spend a couple hours just getting it working again. Why have I switched back to Arch? By the way, my streaming setup is still on Windows. I'm just using another computer for streaming now. But why? Why would I do this to myself? Why would I go to Arch? The answer is, I am working on something. I mentioned last stream that I was angry that 4chan was so fast and the Kiwi Farms was so slow. So I was tempted to start developing again. And so I have actually looked at a couple things. And I have successfully tested a software package for proxying websites, and I have successfully tested Quick or HTTP3 for very, very fast UDP-based websites, and I've gotten both of these things working. And theoretically, I should be able to stitch them together with my existing Kiwiflare code and make something new that is very fast, chat, and that is my plan. So I've tested everything, and I know for a fact it works independently as little scripts. And now I just have to put it all together, which is probably easier said than done because I'm not familiar with it yet. But it works so well that I am pretty tempted to say that the minimum time to viable product is not too long. So that is what I have been working on. I have also been working on other things, such as annoying people, chat. This is my new specialty. I've learned from Liz Fong Jones and Samuel Collingwood Smith how to be very annoying. And what have I... Oh, they blocked my thing again so that you can't preview... you can't preview the Telegram. That's weird. They must set that 6 months at a time and then renew it manually or something. This is what I've done. You can visit the Telegram without actually having an account by going to tg.josh.rs, and this will be this page. But as you can see, I got kiwifarms.us, kiwifarms.pl, and kiwifarms.tw back from one API. And boom, all three of them load and redirect to the main Kiwi Farms network. That is what I've been working on. So now the Germans have relinquished my domains, as foretold in the prophecies. I don't know why the fuck they didn't just release it to begin with. I don't know what they get out of it, but I went up the chain. I complained to one API is owned, and I'm pretty sure it's just a part of the same company as Key Systems GmbH. And then I complained to their new owner, which is Team Internet. And then I complained to About.us, which is the council that represents the contract that the NTIA has. I even wrote the NTIA, and then they gave me my fucking domains back. So now I'm going to put each domain on a new registrar, and hopefully that'll... the things are so stable right now that we don't really need all that. But I never left my boys behind. All the domains we lost throughout the trials of trying to figure out where the fuck we can put the site. I never left them behind. I went back and I got them. So now we are in complete control once again. There is two things I would like to happen, and then we'll go back to .NET. I'm just waiting very patiently, as I do, chat. So that's what I've been up to. That's my hobby, annoying people. What, chat? What has Sony been up to? And the answer, controversial things. They have released a preview for the PS5 Pro, and this has upset many game wars. So the game wars, I don't know. This is what's bizarre to me, is that the game wars are upset that this costs $700. And I'm like, that's pretty, things are, graphics cards are, expensive now, and video games are, really fancy. Is $700 really that expensive for a gaming console? It doesn't feel like it. Is this an absurd opinion to have? Because you basically need like a little computer to play video games. It just doesn't even. I mean, a console has always just been a shitty PC, so I don't know why the $700 price tag is like upsetting to people. I knew it's also a toy. Make games, you stupid fucks. Stop being poor. It's for a system with no games. $700 for. I mean, it doesn't. Do you really need a disk drive? Like, honestly, people complain about that. When was the last time you bought a game from like a store and then installed it to your computer or your console with the disc? I honestly I cannot think of the last time that I used a CD-ROM or a Blu-ray to install any software. Imagine eating cats. We don't have to imagine anymore. Been years. I always buy disc. 2012. I mean, it's been very, yeah. I mean, it's just like I don't get it. Honestly, if you're playing with a console and you're like in your 30s, you need to grow the fuck up. It's like even Dark Side Phil has managed to set up a personal computer and run OBS on it and run video games on it. You have no excuse. A console has always just been a shitty computer. That's why I am neighbor cattle. I'm just saying, like, even the thing is, though, is that a CD-ROM, is not even a particularly good storage unit for like long time archival. Those game discs, I think they can hold a charge for like 10 years without being powered. So, like those things expire. Like we've already lost all the Game Boy cartridges and shit. You have to like manually repair them these days. I'm just saying. It seems like a bunch of do about nothing. Um, I guess I'm a Sony. You know what's weird is that this Sony hate thread is like one of the most contentious threads in the site. There was like a user, I can't remember who they were, but they were so aggressive about like shilling for Nintendo in this thread, and it went on for years. I remember continually getting reports over years that this guy was like derailing the Sony hate thread with like, oh no, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was like pro Sony, and he was always shitting on Nintendo or something in the Sony hate thread, and it pissed people off. There's like one really dedicated Sony fanboy or something that just would not let it go over years to the point. Can I find him? If I check the thread bans, is he in there? Hold up. Some guy called Cyrus Haller was banned with the reason, be aware this user is physically incapable of not arguing with everyone. Now he's he's a virtual YouTuber guy. There's also a guy that was banned for a week in 2022, and his name was I Dance on Tranny Graves, and he's now permanently banned. What was he permanently banned for? Extremely retarded anger directed at random people. You need a break. And I banned him. Oh, he's temp banned. This is a very recent temporary ban. He's still active on the site. I banned him for a week recently. But he was also thread banned from the Sony hate thread for whatever reason. Oh, the joys of being the internet's janitor, chat. The custodian of records. Okay. Anyways, that's the PS5. If you're a game war and you like to game more on consoles, I would recommend getting a real computer, and then also like a Switch if you're like a soy boy and you really need a console for whatever reason. So the real news that everybody cares about, the Linkin Park fandom. This is, of course, the motivating factor for my choice of intro song this episode. Here's the issue. So this guy, Chester Bennington, died in 2017. And he has been replaced. And I think that this is the lead singer. So this is the lead singer of Linkin Park. So if you think that crawling in my crawl, it's now going to be a lady, Emily Armstrong. And she's going to have to sing that song with a lady voice. I don't think it's going to work the same. So that's in and of itself weird, to replace a male lead singer with a female lead singer. It would be kind of like, I don't know, replacing. I mean, doing the opposite's also kind of weird. But whatever. That's irrelevant. Everybody who is against this has, of course, been called misogynist, even though this is like an emo band from the 2000s and nobody should give a fuck anymore. But the real issue is that Emily Armstrong is a Scientologist, and she came out in support of a guy called Danny Masterson, who was also a Scientologist. He was eventually convicted of raping several girls, and Scientology went after his victims because the church does not want bad publicity for their high-ranking members. Emily Armstrong wrote in support. I think she showed up at trial, but I think they also usually write the judge for the sentencing hearing and try to ask for the lowest sentencing possible. So that was the main issue. And this is compounded by the fact that Chester Bennington is, I believe, a childhood sexual assault survivor. And so having a woman that supported a rapist replace a guy who had difficulties coping with childhood abuse seems in really poor taste. So she decided to handle these controversies in a very diplomatic way. Let's take a listen to what she has to say. No, this is not her message. Oh, he killed himself. Okay, he was caused by trauma from his abuse. And he killed himself. And one of the rape victims of Danny Masterson, Chrissy Carnell Bixler, was the wife of musician Cedric Bixler Zavla, who was friends with Chester Bennington. He and his wife have spoke out about how disgusted they are by Linkin Park's decision. So she has replaced a guy who killed himself because of childhood sexual abuse. And one of his victims was friends, or his wife, or no, is the wife of a guy that was personal friends with the guy who killed himself. I got you. So they wrote out, the people who were friends with Chester Bennington have written out against Emily, saying, "Dear Emily, if you are not going to speak out against the human and child trafficking cult in which you are a part of, and in which you are enabling by remaining silent on the crimes you know about, then you have no right to fill the shoes of Chester Bennington, a true advocate. I do not give a fuck that you are very close to a serial rapist. I don't give a fuck that you lied in your apology Instagram story. I do care that you participated, after being asked, in the cruel intimidation of Jane Doe 1 with your cult pals at court." Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Apparently when all the Scientologists showed up at court, they menaced the victims to try and stop them from testifying. I do care that you didn't mention once that you are a member of a child and human trafficking cult that covers up abuses and rapes of children and adults. I do care that your parents work for OSA, the Office of Special Affairs for the Cult of Scientology, which have been ordering attacks on me and my family, which includes murdering my dogs in the most inhumane and evil ways. I do care that you have been attacking and harassing my fellow sister survivors. You don't speak out against Scientology, not because you're terrified of them. You don't speak out because you are one of them. Shame on Linkin Park, and fuck you. That's well spoken. Very to the point. And this was her statement that I believe that they're referring to. She says, "Hi, I'm Emily. I'm new to so many of you, and I wanted to clear the air about something that happened a while back. Several years ago, I was asked to support somebody I considered a friend at court appearance, and went on to one early hearing as an observer. Soon after, I realized I shouldn't have. I always try to see the good in people, and I misjudged him. I have never spoken with him since. Unimaginable details emerged, and he was later found guilty. I say this as clear as possible. I don't condone abuse or violence against women, and I empathize with victims of these crimes." The backlash to this, which of course has been grossly maligned as a misogynist thing, like all things are, has resulted in unimaginable suffering and losses. The volunteer Jannies running the Linkin Park subreddit have resigned due to the emotional burden that they have been unjustly laden with in trying to sweep up the mass outcry against this woman joining as the lead singer. The Jannies were suffering. They were not being compensated. Their wages were not increased at all in the light of this outrage, and they were expected to do the needful day in and day out against the mob that had encircled them. And so the Jannies have fallen. They have quit. They have left. This is Lincoln Playground. This is a sticky comment. He says, I am also leaving. This community turned toxic so fucking fast. I want to enjoy my favorite band returning without the mob commanding me to be angry. I've never seen this sub turn so vile. I'm getting so many hate messages for censorship when I am just trying to keep things civil. I can't do this anymore. This community used to be so much fun. I enjoyed moderating for the past 8 years, but this is where it ends for me. I added several new moderators who are doing a great job. Please treat them with kindness. This wasn't an easy decision, but this is what's best for my mentals. Make Chester proud. So that's his final message. They've also frozen posting for 100 hours as a stopgap, as a bulwark against the hate, against the mob. If we can just get 100 hours of no shit posting, no sweeping it up, then maybe they'll get bored. Maybe they'll be okay with the sudden change of lead singer. Who knows? We'll see. Oh, there's a thread for this, by the way. Music. The music board. That's a rare sight on the Mad at the Internet podcast, our little music board. Here's a fun fact about the music board for those of you who are Kiwi Farms trivia aficionados. This board, I've been asked about this actually. Am I a Grateful Dead fan? And the reason that I've been asked this is because the music board says, as its description, talk about the Grateful Dead or non-Grateful Dead music, which of course would be all music, but with specific emphasis on Grateful Dead. This is the only board description on the Kiwi Farms that has never changed in the time that I've run it. I've kept this description from when Champton wrote it in the original 2012 era of the Quickie forums, and I've just never had a reason to change it because I feel it is what it is. Everything else, literally everything else, has been changed in some way except for that. I've never touched that. So that description for this board is literally older than my tenure as admin on the site. Cool. Let's see what the Asians are up to, chat. Has their artificial intelligence been used for good or for evil today?
The electric light, racing shadows, crack of light, broken love, beyond the rest, mother loving, he's the best, he's the best.
Just wonderful. This is obviously a combination of the music generation stuff and also that it's called Halo AI, and this is quite popular because it's not censored. So I generated a video of Sonic the Hedgehog electrocuting Donald Trump. I think the only terms that they censor are related to China, so you might have issues getting a video of a Chinaman scarfing down boy eggs cooked in gutter oil, but you might have no issue getting Donald Trump doing the same. So, I think that's it for the news. There is one particular piece of news which I did not cover. And the reason why I did not cover it in the news segment is because it is no longer news. The news and the lolcows are blending together. And I have no choice but to lump one of the most significant things that have happened in the last year with the retards. So, we do have some true news, of course. This is in the fem section, so I'll just leave this no hamster. Okay. I have a method to my madness. There's a reason why I do things. What you're looking at here is a proud Cherokean warrior. And this man is from Oklahoma, specifically. He's from the Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma. And he raped a child, killed an elderly 63-year-old man, and then dismembered him with a chainsaw. After doing so, he then fled the state. He fled the Cherokee Nation and went to the fine state of New York, specifically New York City, where he turned himself in to the police of New York City, covered in blood. And after doing so, he said that he killed somebody. And usually, I suppose, if you turn yourself into the police and say, "Hey, I killed somebody," their first instinct might be, "Oh, this is a mentally ill person who hasn't done anything, probably. Or maybe he's just having a delusion." But they actually did believe him. And the reason why they believed him is because they had already found the body. He had killed another 62-year-old man in New York City. This time, I think a Polish person or a Jew or something. And I think he also desecrated his body, which is why he was covered in blood. So when he turned himself in, they did believe him, and they took him into custody, and he has pled out. He is sentenced to 20 years in New York City prisons, and during his court affairs, he transitioned. So it does seem like he knowingly, intentionally fled the state of Oklahoma, which has capital punishment and no true prisons, to New York City, which has no capital punishment and true prisons, so that he could transition, quote unquote, transition to a female, and then be put in prison with the women in New York City. That this seems to be he has actually gone out of his way to orchestrate this, because it's pretty difficult to go from Oklahoma to New York City. They're not necessarily very close to each other. If I had to guess, for those of you listening in Europe, a trip from Oklahoma to New York City would probably be approximate to driving from like Kharkiv all the way to Paris. Might even be more than that. It's a pretty fucking long drive on very boring roads. So there's lots of places to hop off that train and butcher a 62-year-old man that's not New York City. You have to go pretty deliberately out of that way. So there is a bill currently in the works in New York City, which would, of course, provide the life-saving, gender-affirming care that these beautiful, strong trans women need. And they might be able to push it through for him so he can get what he wants, what he needs, what he deserves. It would be cruel and unusual not to allow him to transition with heroic application of medicine and surgery, so that he can live with the women as he deserves, as an inmate, as a child rapist, murderer. I think our society would just be so much better if we just killed people more often. And none of that bullshit with like 20 fucking years of appeals. You know how, and we've really fucked up the process with like these stupid ass chairs and these stupid ass injections that are apparently like in short supply. Like, apparently we can't get the sodium, whatever the fuck that we use to kill people anymore. So we just have to wait, like, years to get this supply. Like, we invented the bullet, like, 200 years ago. And this works just fine. It still works to this day. You should get, like, one appeal. And then we should just shoot people. I think that would work out a lot better. They say that the death penalty is too expensive. It's more expensive than a life sentence because of the appeals. And it's also not a deterrent. Well, number one, I don't care if it's a deterrent. And number two, we can fix that by expediting the process. This is, like, we're looking at this the wrong way. Like, is it better to give them gender-affirming care in a life sentence in a women's prison? Or is it better to spend all the money on all the appeals and then wait 20 years anyways and then kill them? Why don't we just fix the process? You have a right to a speedy trial. Presumably, that would all. I would make the legalistic argument that you have a right to a speedy execution. Why not? I think that it's cruel and unusual to keep somebody in jail for 20 years when they're going to die anyways. You just gotta twist things around a little bit, and they all line up perfectly. You can see like I do. Anyways, the other truant is Dave. Muscato, the guy that I talked about once, many months ago, about harassing his own parents, and then also last stream, due to his cheeky little appearance talking about his sister, which he did not have. podcast listener, beautiful person. The beautiful people. This guy actually had never listened to Dave's video about the sister thing before. And when he heard this the first time and he realized, this sounds familiar, actually. This sounds a lot like the story of Fiona Apples, who told a very similar story about being raped, and who Dave has had a fixation on for years. So Dave was obsessed with this performer named Fiona Apples. And then when it came time to talk about trauma that he and his family, his sisters, had lived through, he basically recounted anonymously her story of being raped as a child in her apartment, as if it was his own to tell. And it's indicative, it's probably his cheeky way of getting around this, is that he said he doesn't have a sister, but he says, my sisters. So he's probably talking as a woman. All women are my sisters in the cosmic family of the one race, the human race. We're all sisters. And I was just using her story as an example. That's probably his fucking cope in his head, but... Remember, when a tranny says something, you can just say, I think you're full of shit, tranny. I think you should shut the fuck up. And finally, in the film section, there's a little video that I would like to show you all. Because you may have realized, if you had checked your calendars, today is Friday the 13th. So we need a little hint of the spooky season still coming. This is Eugenia Cooney, and she wants to get them Beetlejuice lips. So I gotta say those are hideous, but I guess they're kind of creepy, which is the point.
Trend looks so crazy. So I guess this was started by Hello Audrey. If I'm saying her name wrong, I'm really sorry. But I definitely
do the makeup.
See if it works on me. So I went to Ulta today. I bought this About Face.
Why do they?
Fluid eye paint. It's in the shade.
Why do they even sell
Okay, so let's see what happens. I've never
like puke green pea soup lipstick? Chat. Explain this to me. Why do you need this?
And okay, so after she did that, she put like black eyeshadow, I guess like all over her lip.
Damn, her hands look bad. Her hands look like she's 70.
This is in the Jeffree Star Weirdo palette shade.
By the way, I find it very interesting that Jeffree Star went from like a faggot doing a hair band like Medic Droid, and now he's like a fashionista who does makeup kits.
Weirdo?
It's a weird projection.
I feel like this should.
Okay, so her shtick as like a retarded skeleton is that she does the, oh, I'm so stupid and helpless, tee-hee. But watch, she scrunches up her lips so that when she opens them, they do the black and the green. But she doesn't do that because she's like a retard.
Shade Weirdo? Okay. Why do I feel like this is like not gonna work for me?
She just smears them in.
We can't give up. We're just gonna keep putting it on. I heard it looks so cool. It gave me like kind of like, remember like those crackle nail polishes? I feel like kind of that vibe.
I do remember those. My mom wore those ones. It was
Okay.
like a weird like thing. It was like a nail polish, but after it dries, like the top layer cracks and it makes like a spooky like spider web look to it.
Not perfectly even. I mean,
it looks like she just ate shit or something. You know what I mean?
Why do I feel like it didn't work?
It looks like she just chugged poo.
I kind of had a feeling like, I don't know how like she got it to work. I can kind of see the effect. Like the tiniest bit.
Because you did it wrong, lady.
Don't
worry, there's a happy ending to this. I know many of you are concerned that the skeleton might be heartbroken and might die of a broken heart. She did it again. She went back and she figured it out. Someone walked her through it. So she wiped all that shit off. She wasted like $40 of makeup. And then she did the effect. There we go. Now she's the spooky, scary skeleton she always knew she could be. Lovely. I love a happy ending, chat. We have so many sad endings that when a skeleton is able to accomplish their dreams, you can't help but feel good for her, chat. Cool. Now here's another happy ending. There's this guy called Jeff Leibowitz, not to be confused with John Leibowitz, who is the host or was the host of the Daily Show. He might be isn't he the host again? I haven't heard anything about Jon Stewart in a long ass fucking time. Jeffrey Leibowitz, instead of handling the goyim, he handled venomous snakes, a much more dangerous threat to the average person. He has famously said that carrying anti-venom is a thing for pussies. So even though he was a social media snake guy, he never carried anti-venom on him, because why would he? He's one of God's chosen, and there's a protective veil keeping him alive. What's the worst that could happen? The answer, he could be handling a juvenile inland taipan snake and get bit. He asked on Zitter, or on Facebook, anyone who has a venom for an inland taipan or knows someone who does, please call McLeod Hospital in Florence, South Carolina. And then ask again, who has immediate access to, I think it means immediate access to antivenom for an inland taipan. Now, chat, you might be thinking, as an average person, what the fuck is that? Like a cottonmouth? Chat. He is in South Carolina, but his snake is from the outback of Australia. The inland taipan is the most poisonous, sorry, let me not piss off the snake people. One of the most venomous creatures in the world, if not the most venomous. It is, by far, the most venomous snake that is alive today. Even more so than the coral reef snake, which is also in Australia. The coral reef snake is much more dangerous because it's aggressive to people, and it's also in the beaches where people like to play. The inland taipan, you kind of have to go out of your way to find this fucker. They didn't know what it was for a long time. They had to rediscover it like 50 years after it was first described. It likes to hide under rocks. It tends to avoid people. It doesn't want to cause any problems unless you're a Jewish guy that feels entitled to fuck with it, and then you import one of the most venomous snakes in the entire world from its indigenous lands of Australia, where it hangs out with the abos and eats kangaroos and shit, I guess. I don't know what the fuck a snake would eat out there. Probably mice, actually. I don't know why a snake needs extra super mega toxic venom in order to kill little mises, but apparently it does. I guess they got really good kidneys and mises over there. And then it bits him. And it's just a little itty bitty snake. A little teeny tiny little juvenile inland taipan snake. And it gives him a little nibble. And that's all it takes. The chances are that his kidneys are both shot and he's already dead. He just hasn't died from the renal failure yet. Unless, of course, they can find somebody to give him a kidney transplant so he can continue to manhandle venomous snakes without any anti-venom on standby. So I think the snake was killed, which is good, because it was number one. There's no reason, like, we should not be having Australian venomous snakes in the United States. The fact that we even allow that and don't just immediately kill people who bring those fucking things outside of Australia is shocking to me. Like, do we really need these animals in North America? Do we need something specifically adapted to Australia to be brought into the North America where it has no competition whatsoever? I don't think so. The snake isn't endangered. They're very venomous, so they're super successful in their environment. They're of least concern. They're not. So killing the snake is the correct option. Don't feel too bad for it. Is this guy making a video? I saw like a thumbnail. Look at this guy. Oh my god, bro. Usually it's white people doing this dumb shit. What the fuck? Where is this video? This kills me. This is from August 23rd. Okay, so this is from a while ago. Hopefully this is not... Oh, they just censored it. Dude, there it is. Look at that little guy. Look at him. He's so tiny. But he got those cheeks. He got those cheeks full of venom. And he's just touching it because he wants to. Oh, they're just talking about him. They're trying to warn him. Don't do that. You're gonna die. Look, they're just using like a stock photo, like a random fucking snake. I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's actually one of the inland taipounds. A Florence man condition remains unknown after first responders treated him for a snake bite early Friday morning. EMS responded to the 800 block of Marion Street and took the man to the hospital. Police were made aware that he owns a collection of venomous snakes and had been bitten by one of them. They got a search warrant. There were 14 total snakes and a domestic cat taken by animal control. Cool. There you go. That's Jeffrey Leibowitz for those interested. He may be dead though soon. Speaking of Israeli men up to no good, did I talk about... Oh, I might have talked about this already. Did I talk about the H3 stuff? I think I did. Yeah, I did mention that. I'll mention it again just in case. H3, who built his entire career off copyright lawsuits and dealing with false takedown notices and shit, is involved in filing takedown notices to censor videos that he didn't like. Just thought I would mention that again for those interested. No, I did not mention that. Okay, well, if you don't know, for whatever reason, you don't keep up with your H3 lore, I can't really blame you. He was he like made his entire like name off of dealing with copyright, and he like scored big wins for fair use and shit. And despite this, he is now filing his own frivolous, vexatious litigation. Well, DMCA takedown request, not really litigation yet. To try and censor things that he doesn't like. Here, I'm trying to find those. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Here's him actually filing the takedown notices. This is I'm pretty sure this is how he's taking down these videos. Probably something like this, you know. Just I need this louder. There we go. All those videos of things that he doesn't like, that he doesn't want out there, just firing indiscriminately into them with an IDF-based automatic rifle, like tears in the rain, chat. I only watch H3 and Maddie. That is an interesting combination of videos. For whatever reason, the fucking kick numbers are not adding to the counter on the top left, and that triggers me. I want credit. I want credit for my viewers, damn it. Try refreshing one more time. I guess I'm just not getting them. Not getting the credit I deserve, chat. Oh well. Okay, let's watch a black man attempt to cheat in a video game. I'm gonna explain what's happening.
Okay.
The big girl with the weapon is the killer. This is Dead by Daylight, and they added like a Brazilian woman in booty shorts for the Coomers. The other women are all players on the survivor side. And one of the things that you can do in the game is hide in cabinets. So, and there's a little gimmick where if you try to hide in the same cabinet that some other guy is already hiding in, there's a cheeky little animation where you like open it and you're like, oh no, and there's like an oopsie moment. It's kind of like supposed to be funny. But when this animation is playing, you can't leave the cabinet. So this cheater, and by the way, in ranked Dead by Daylight, you can't leave the game for any reason. The only way that you can leave the game without taking a penalty and getting banned from the queue for a length of time is by completing the game. But if for whatever reason there is some assortment of events that is prohibiting the game from ending, because the game does not have a timer, it will last forever as long as there are players alive, and as long as the players are alive and the gate has not opened, there is no countdown. So Black Man is cheating. The other players know that he's a cheater. So what they have done is this interesting little glitch. See, he's in the thing, and then Claudette is like...
Y'all better hope this killer don't hook y'all. I'm gonna fuck both of y'all up.
Tapping his space bar.
I'm not stuck in a locker. I can get out if I want to, but
he thinks that he's not stuck in a locker,
chat.
chat.
She thinks that I'm stuck.
I wonder if she thinks that I'm stuck. He really thinks I'm stuck.
Let me go like.
So as you can see, the
real quick.
killer who should be killing these people is just
Yeah,
laughing
yeah,
at him
but-
because he's a cheater and they've trapped him in a closet and he can't get out.
Remember the Kate? Is this the Kate? Even hacking, it's a head-on glitch. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Oh fuck! I think I actually am stuck. Hold on. Let me see.
Is it interesting
What's
to
my
you,
body
chat,
doing? Okay.
that this black guy is a criminal
Wait,
even
you
in
get stuck
video
a locker like
games?
this?
Is this an interesting factoid that even in video games he cannot cooperate with the rest of society?
You're not even hacking. Is this the head-on glitch? Fuck yeah.
All this Claudette is doing is tapping her spacebar over and over
That
again.
Claudette got no drip.
And I guess the bump where they check
It's
like
okay.
in the series of events, it checks first to see if a person is opening a locker before a person is leaving a locker, and there's no way to get out
like
if
Bossman
they're
and flashbacks.
spamming the
Flashbacks
queue
about
at the
what?
same time.
The cheats can see the killer, yo. That's dope. And you can see which players play on different platforms.
And this black guy, he has like a direct affiliate with the cheats. So he's like advertising his cheat affiliate link in the comments. Now you can see how effective those cheats are. A black woman with no cheats has just locked him into a cabinet. And he's on YouTube, by the way. Twitch doesn't allow people to stream their cheats, but YouTube does, which is interesting because cheats like this have ended up in copyright courts a bunch of times. Because they have argued, I think even successfully. Oh, I love this part because he's like, I'm going to show this bitch Claudette, I'm going to create a macro on my gamer mouse so that I hold down the button and then it opens the door really fast. And then because the door's opening real fast and shit, motherfucking big thing, I'm going to get out this locker here and shit. And he's like super cocky about it. And then Claudette is just like completely smashing and slamming him. He's getting bred like a pit bull XL. What was I gonna say? Oh, so the copyright issue with this is that the copyright law says something about defeating DRM. Defeating DRM is in itself like a form of copyright. So if you bypass like a security mechanism on a video game, they argue that that's copyright infringement. So it's pretty fucking audacious of him to live stream this. Maybe he's streaming from the beautiful country of Haiti.
Frequency like 1, I guess.
Look at him. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna, do a little black magic over here and program my excellent gamer mouse. And then he does it. And then he's testing it. Okay. He's like, okay, time to deploy my ultimate weapon. And then Claudette smashing and slamming the door. And there's no escape.
I can't tell. Let me see. Fuck yeah, I guess that's it right there. Oh, that's fast as well. Okay.
Look at him suffer. He's putting all 70 IQ to figure out how to get out of this closet. So as long as this... So back in the day with Dead by Daylight, there were situations where...
Her macro's better than mine, boys. No.
At the end of the game, there would be a magic hatch that appears on the floor. And if you tried to jump into this hatch, there is a brief window where the killer can grab you instantly. Usually it takes 2 hits to bring you down. And then even if you're crawling on the floor, you can still slip through the hatch. So... Alternatively, the killer has no way to close the hatch. But if he catches you, he can then hook you and you die immediately. If he slashes you normally, you'll either take the hit and then pass through him and escape through the hatch, or you'll go to the ground and then crawl through the hatch. But if he catches you, you lose. So there would be a situation, and this happened. This was like a well-documented thing in Dead by Daylight, where the killer and the player would stare at each other, just like face to face on top of this hatch.
We can escape.
because
We can auto-escape.
whoever blinks
But use
first
the Claudette.
loses.
The Claudette
If you
is
jump
just
through
for
the hatch and get
scene.
caught, you lose.
That's on the
If the
Steam
killer tries to
platform.
take a swing at you and kill you or
They're
down
gonna
you,
pull their Cloud
then you
ID.
can just slide through the hatch. So the only
Which
winning
one
move
is
is to do
It's,
absolutely nothing. It was a test of the patience. And there are
The
YouTube
Cloud
videos
ID
out there
was
that you can
glitchy, right?
find
Let me see.
where there would be
forget.
killers
I
and
forget.
players literally staring at each other on stream for 2 fucking hours,
The
waiting
Claudette
for the
is
moment that they could try and get through the hatch and win the game.
C Basil. It's this person right here. They're on
Yes,
stream
that's
too.
this game. Many years later,
You can
they have
take their
fixed this,
ID.
and they still have wonderful bugs like this where a black man will use literally 100% of his brain power to try and figure out how to get out of a closet, while a Claudette just hits the
I'll take care
dab
of that
and
later.
smashes
I'll
and
take care of
slams
that.
him
I'm
in
gonna
that
put them on
closet.
hold
Look at him.
videos.
He's pulling out Notepad.
Okay.
He's writing macros. He's trying to hum home so nonchalant. La-dee-da, I'm not being trolled here at all, Stalker Child. In fact, it is you who's wasting your time. My time's already worthless, child. I get food stamps. I eat your kittens.
Bro, you can't even auto escape. That's a fucking macro.
This is us with Josh.
Wait,
Well,
wait,
basically,
wait,
yeah.
what's happening?
So a normal game of Dead by Daylight lasts 5 minutes, and this video is 10 minutes long. To give you an idea of what's happening here.
I'm kidding, by the way. So, like,
Okay.
when you're,
Oh, he got out. Oh no, he did not. Oh,
I think we're gonna put using a macro.
someone opened. Oh, the other players opened the gate.
Later. Nah.
So that's why there's a timer at the end.
That, but we will get them like.
So what happens at the end is that eventually, once that the timer's only started specifically because the other 2 players actually finished the game.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna die.
And what happens when that time runs out is that the entity will kill everybody on the map, like that. And there's a bug where he gets killed, but because he's in the locker, and this is another bug apparently with the locker,
What the fuck? Don't talk. Yeah.
is that the server closes because he's dead, but because he's in the locker, his game doesn't know that he's dead, so the game just fucking
I don't
ends.
think we'll get a ban.
He had to disconnect manually and hope they didn't get an abandoned for it.
That's interesting though.
And that's Dead by Daylight in a nutshell. That's the true joy of Dead by Daylight. Cool. Okay, I want to make fun of this guy. His name is Cucktry Roads, and he's like a rage pig. Here's his wonderful community post. He wants to share with the forum updates about Darkside Phil. So this is how he writes. After 41 consecutive streams, Phil usually streams twice a day except on one Sunday a month because he streams once to react to paid Patreon member, shitty K-pop and Singaporean propaganda videos, and a day of trying to start drama with Low Tier God and raging and rage-quitting Black Myth Wukong. DSP's king streak has ended and showcased how poor the Kino Casino pay pigs are since they couldn't keep it going as long as the Vest streak. This signals the end of DSP's redemption arc, and they are a complete feltoning of both Kino Casino pay pigs and Phil. And then he wrote another post. So he wrote this post and then featured it himself, and this is what he says. Duty. So again, if you are like fans of somebody who's literally named shit, you're a fucking retard. You're like mentally a child. Judy clipped the end of the court jester streak. For anyone who isn't aware of what happened, his pre-stream was just him trying to start drama with Low Tier God. Then when it came to gameplay, he went back to playing Black Myth Wukong. He did cheese strats. Well, today he is raging pretty hard at the game and didn't hit the 150 he expected. The show ended with him complaining about how the game killed the streak and he was wage quitting it because it's the busy gaming season. Just like with the Vest streak, he stalled majorly at the end, hoping a final tip would come in, which has been happening quite a few times in the last week. Important note for our Kino Casino pay pigs that visit here. The DSP A-logs win when you don't give Phil money. It's something you kind of keep doing. As DSP pay pigs, he learned in the past, just because you're homeless doesn't mean that you're cashless. So this guy is like filled with a deep primordial rage at Darkside Phil making like $150 for like 8 hours of streaming a day. Like that upsets him. Like honestly, how long does he stream like per day? It's got to be like 6 or 8 hours, right? And you divide 180 by that, it's like less than $20 an hour. He's upset about that. He's like, that's too much money for DSP. Come on now. He plays gacha games. He sucks. I hate him. That's a bad guy. There's a small intermingling overlap between Kang Phil and Darkside Phil. Or not, Ethan Ralph. DSP tweeted this out. A very ominous message. He says, I just want to test something really quickly here. Here it goes. Ethan Ralph. The gray clouds circle in, lightning strikes, earth shakes, cracks open, and you hear in the distance, what the fuck you say, bitch? Keep my fucking name out your mouth, DSP. A really shocking display. And indeed, Ethan Ralph did crawl out of the ground, bemoaning the name Darkside Phil. And it says, no show today. I'm clipping and working on guest prep. Also a special DSP show tomorrow to prepare for an eventual Fuck DSP festival later this month. He continues. He says, Phil, you know what I'm doing for my birthday? Going to visit my son, which you don't have because you shoot blanks. Panda Lee would never let you knock her up or else you're not capable. I lean towards the latter. The Fuck DSP Festival. Tentative date, September 27th. We will have guests. And then he posts this. I'm 38, Phil, at least for a few more days. This clown is trying to say I'm in my 40s right now. LMAO. I'm not. That's because you look old and you're bald, Ralph. That's why he says you look 40. Because you look, he's being generous. You look 50. You look like you're about to die of old age. See what Phil has to say about this.
Oh, look at this. These people are insane. A special DSP show tomorrow. What? Listen, I literally tweeted a name. I know nothing of the person at all, right? That's it. And I'm reading replies. That's it. That's literally it.
I'm going to assume that PPP told him, sorry, I'm bad. They got like 5-letter names and 4-letter names all mixed together in my head. Like PPP just told Darkside Phil, like, hey, if you just tweet the name Ethan Ralph, this guy will like give you free content. He will like bow to you and just offer content as like a sacrifice at your feet, as thanks for keeping him slightly relevant. He doesn't even, he has no idea, he can't even conceptualize, what do you mean a special stream? You're just going to boot up a stream and complain about me for several hours? Okay, go for it. Even Phil can do that.
Look at this. Is this real? Oh my God, someone beat the shit out of him and they got it on camera. Dude, that's fucked up. Yo, he's getting pummeled. Oh my God. Who the hell beat the shit out of him? When did that happen? That's a Portugal fight? Oh my God.
I just want to point out the guy that posted that. His username is Missouri State Ass Eating Champion 2007-2009. So he didn't win 2008 for whatever reason. I don't know what that other year is. That's a very bizarre name. That's a very weird username. And it stands out to me as particularly weird. Interesting. I think there is a video by the Kang, Keith and Ralph, hollering about this. Where the fuck is this? Is this him? Oh, yeah.
Phil Burnell, the king of hate. No, motherfucker.
He's reading. He's reading like a note off his screen or something. Why is he looking down? Look at the camera.
You're looking at the king of hate. Ethan Ralph, the Sultan of Spite, the Emperor of Enmity. That's me. You know, you got on the Keno Casino, you had some laughs at my expense, but they didn't show you the shit that I've really done to motherfuckers online. The lives that I've ruined, the people's careers that I've ended. They didn't show you any of that. They showed you some embarrassing moments. No doubt I've had some downers, literally, so to speak. But I've also fucking cracked some skulls. And you're next on the list, motherfucker. And you fucked with the wrong one for, I don't even know what reason. I guess just to, you have nothing else other than to try to poke me and try to get some of my hater audience. Well, guess what? You got a large hater audience as well. And they've been talking a lot to me. And they've already hit the Keno Casino hard. And guess what? There's more coming. I hear, at least. There's more coming the Keno Casino's way from all different sides. But I'm coming your way, motherfucker. And I'm not interested in Metal Gear Solid gameplay or how bad you suck at video games in general. I'm interested in your personal life, the lies you've ran, the scams you've run on the fucking IRS, the wives you've lost. I'm interested in the personal. I'm interested in the real fucking hard attacks. I'm not interested in, you know, you played this video game bad or whatever. No, I want to talk about how you treat your fans, how you scam your fans, what a piece of garbage you are in general, what an ingrate you are. This is a blessing. To do this for a living is a blessing that you don't seem to understand or appreciate. Well, you're going to appreciate me by the time I'm done with you, you piece of fucking garbage.
I always imagine him with like I just imagine his eyes are like closed when he does these like little like therapy sessions, and he just pictures himself in the head, in his head, eyes closed, and he's just talking, like imagining he's holding the mic like WWE style. It's like hanging from the roof. He's like, "Let me tell you something, brother. You think that you fucked with some hard detractors before? You ain't seen nothing. Dark side Phil. I'm coming for you. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna throw you over the table. I'm gonna bounce off the cords on the edge of the fucking ring. I'm gonna throw you overboard, dark side, Phil." And all the while, everyone's just going, "Yeah, woo, yeah." And then he's just like sitting in his little avocado house in like Mexico, and he's just like yelling at a computer screen. And he thinks it's like the coolest shit that's ever been fucking recorded and sent out. He's never lost any wives, by the way. I'm pretty sure. He never married Panda Lee. And he married the one woman that he dated after that. And I think the IRS settled his debt, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about with that either. Very weird. So yeah, good luck. I mean, God, how many more people can possibly try to build a career off of Darkside Phil hate? Like, he's entering a really crowded market, and the people that currently do the detractor stuff for Phil are like so dedicated. They watch like all his long ass streams that clip out anything that they can make into like a video and compress that down to like 8 minutes. It's like, Ralph can't do that much work. He doesn't have enough gray matter left to do what like someone like Duty Streams does and like watch the entire fucking 8-hour long stream and make like 10-minute videos out of it. So good luck with that, buddy boy. Good luck with that shit. Cue clip of Ralph being beaten by Darkside Phil. What you gonna do when Darkside Phil goes rant on you? What's that thing? Goes wild. Goes wild. That's what the Hulkster says. That's right. All right, time for the locale section. Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the president of the United States. He went to like a blue collar factory or some shit, and then he was signing shit for the employees there, and this guy This guy's signing a hat, and he sees somebody with a trumpet and says, "Give me that trumpet," and he signs it. And then everyone in the factory is like, "Put it on, put it on," and he does. He puts the hat on. Now there's a picture of Joe Biden with the trumpet, and he's happy about it too. He thinks it's funny. I think this is the actual video. Oh, he asked for it. He specifically asked. And he says, "You want my autograph?" And the guy with the Trump hat says, "Hell no." That's so funny. The guy says, "I'm proud of you now, you old fart." And Joe says, "What?"
Hey, they're good. They're good. Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know if you like it.
What does he say? Smells like fried chicken? Dude, if I was him, I would totally just endorse Trump. Fuck Kamala. She sucks. So the reason why I've sort of just given up and thrown this together is that I'm going to be real with you, okay? I'm going to give my little political take, and you all can call me a faggot or whatever in the comments. I'm a little bit concerned. When I say a little bit concerned, I mean gravely concerned that there seems to be a intermingling of retarded right-wing grifters and like Trump's campaign. Like, I think that Milo Yiannopoulos and Laura Loomer are directly embedded in his campaign now, and that's a bad thing. That JD Vance guy being like a shoe-on-head follower, I think is a bad thing. Because Pence was like old, and it was just, he was sort of like, you know, we got this wild card Trump, but then we got Pence, and he's like, he knows the game, he knows the system, and he's gonna be like a stake that ties Trump down a little bit to make sure that he's capable of producing effective policy. Because he knows he has somebody who he can bounce an idea off of, and look and hear how that's actually going to work if it plays out. But with JD Vance, he's just some fucking guy, and the people around him just appear to be some fucking guys. So I watched the debate, and I didn't think that he did very good. He came across really unhinged. The things he said didn't make sense to me, and I was vaguely aware of what was happening. It was a pretty poor showing, and I don't like Kamala, and I know that she was given softball questions and shit, but like, I didn't think it was a very good debate, so I'm a little bit concerned. And then here's Laura Loomer having a argument on fucking Twitter with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't like either of these people, but they're like fighting like retards in public. And the gist of this seems to be that Laura Loomer made I think this is it. He says, or she says, if Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand. Marjorie Taylor Greene pretty correctly points out that that's a pretty tasteless comment to make. There's lots of Indian people in the U.S. They're technically Asians, and they're not as hardcore Democratic voting as like the blacks are. To give you a comparison, I think Asians vote like 60 or 70 Democrat. In 2020, 81% of black men voted for Biden, and 98% of black women voted for Trump, or for, sorry, not for Trump, for Biden. As many black women voted for third parties voted for Trump. That's how fucking small the margin is for Trump when it comes to black voters. 95% of black voters voted for Obama, and 93% voted for him the second time. And then I think it was the same number when you combine women and men for Biden. You can offend Haitians all day long. If you're a Republican, you can say whatever nasty, cruel shit you want about Haitians, and nobody will ever give a fuck. When it comes to the Asians, they're not so one-sided. So Marjorie Taylor Greene says, "This is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer should take this down." It is a pretty dumb thing to tweet, because you're going to be voting and you're going to have historically small margins between the two candidates. So alienating the Asians is probably a bad idea. Then there's the back and forth. They have an open fucking back and forth retard internet. Like this is like when I argued with Tarl Warwick or Styx Hexenhammer on my Twitter account. Like, this is the kind of like retard fucking internet drama shit that's spewing out between two major Republican politicians on Twitter. And I'm skimming through all of this just to show you that this is the fucking magnitude of back and forth messages between them, and it's not worth reading. And then I'm additionally concerned because I don't think that Marjorie Taylor Greene is actually giving a fuck about the messaging. I think she's upset that Trump is fucking Laura Loomer. And I'm not joking. Trump is fucking Laura Loomer.
She's actually.
That's like that's a woman in his campaign. And he's like grabbing her like right above like one of her waist. And she's in like a weird tight fucking
We love you.
suit.
Oh,
She's actually.
So I think there's even more of this. I want to say there's even more of the Laura Loomer and Trump shit together. Because this is in Laura Loomer's thread. Let me skip ahead a little bit. I think there's some still... God, she's so fucking ugly. There was another thing that I saw, I think. This! Look at this! Look at how close they are! This is not how you hold your... Oh, sorry, I fucked up my thing. This is not how you hold your campaign manager. This is how you touch somebody you're fucking. Donald Trump has been Laura Loomer, chat. I don't vote, but if I did vote, how the fuck am I voting for a man that stuck his dick in Laura Loomer voluntarily and like holds on to her in public, chat? I can't vote for someone who's been loomed. I can't do it. It's bad, chat. It's really bad. It's weird, chat. I don't like it. It's not good. What's worse, chat? Kamala Harris or a Loomer fucker? I'm being real. What's worse? It's a toss up, man. It's a toss up. You can't do better than Laura Loomer. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? It just feels like they're all retarded. Like Trump had like a really lean and mean campaign in 2016. And I think he had a pretty decent campaign in 2020 too. But what the fuck is this? This is like retard shit. You're not going to win. I thought this one was in the bag. You were up against the guy that fucking endorsed you for president. How did you fuck this up, bro? Why are you doing this? I don't know. It's bad. It's Jover. It's Trover. It's Laura Loomer over. Nobody expects... Isn't that a thing in politics when something happens in October that like shakes the election? This is the September surprise. It's the Laura Loomer surprise. That's actually, it's not out yet. That's the October surprise. Donald Trump is fucking around with Laura Loomer. And Laura Loomer is going to be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do PDAs like this in public because Laura Loomer is ecstatic that she's getting to fuck the president of the United States. So she's going to come out and she's going to jeopardize the campaign by being open about it in October, because that's when this shit happens. And that's the October surprise. The Laura Loomer surprise that shakes the entire country. And our country has to come together and decide, can we have a Loomered president? Can we elect a man who has had sex with Laura Loomer? This will be the most contentious debate in our country's history since the question of if we can have a black man as president. In fact, it's probably a little bit more contentious. I'm going to be real with you. It's going to require some real soul searching on behalf of our entire country. Still voting Trump. I wish I could sleep easy with myself knowing that I voted for someone who stuck his dick in Laura Loomer, but it just ain't right. It just ain't right. He has a wife. He has kids with that wife. And yet he wants to go for Laura Loomer. It just ain't right, chap. Just ain't right. Shocking, disgusting, vile, terrible, horrific. A tragedy the likes of which we haven't seen since that other time that a tragedy happened to the United States. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, and this doesn't really even qualify as being worth mentioning, but this guy called Tayler Hansen, who is a member of the Tenet Media, I mentioned that YouTube went out and deleted every single Tenet Media channel, and Tayler Hansen also received an email saying that his channel had been deleted. But he had a direct channel with Tenet Media, and he went out and said that YouTube deleted his channel, which prompted YouTube to come out and completely fucking bitch slap this guy, saying, "Hi there, I wanted to jump in and clarify. The screenshot you shared shows a notice we sent on September 5th after the termination of Tenet Media and associated channels, including a Tayler Hansen channel with 0 uploads or subscribers. It looks like a separate channel, Taylor USA, was deleted by its owner on September 6th. So he deleted his own channel and then tried to say, oh no, guys, I've been censored by YouTube. How can this be? Oh, Lordy, I'm such a victim. And then YouTube itself just comes out and is like, no, boy, you did that yourself. We got the evidence. All right. So this happened, or I became aware of this very, very, very recently. And I'm about to hit you guys. You know, a lot of the time when I talk about stuff on the internet, there's generally 2 broad categories of things that I talk about. Things that everybody has kind of seen if they pay attention to the forum or other internet drama stuff. And then some random stuff I dig up just for funsies. This is neither. I think that this is the biggest thing that nobody has talked about yet. On the Kamala Trump debate thing, there were quite a few different podcasters and streamers who did live coverage of the debate, as is natural for a debate streamer. This guy, Tarl Warwick, aka Six X and Hammer 666, decided that he would introduce his girlfriend on stream as he watched the debate. And since the debate is so bad, he would of course have a little bit of alcoholic beverages as he did so. This resulted in what is perhaps the most uncomfortable moment ever captured on a live stream. Those of a weak disposition, avert your gaze.
Hey, this is my darling. Yes.
You done?
No.
Okay.
Only slightly.
So if you don't know, if you're only listening, he groped his girlfriend sitting on the couch next to him through her clothes, and the visible physical discomfort on display is like skin crawling, and his weird like yes, my darling. That like his voice on top of this is like the creepiest fucking thing that's ever been recorded since like Pogo the Clown. Now, they're in a relationship, but this in and of itself is some level of complexity. Tarl is married, and there's been some speculation since he left the Netherlands, where his wife is from, that he has split with his wife, which is interesting because he has children with his wife. But that wouldn't be the first time that he's had children with a woman and then left her, because that's actually his second wife, and he has 3 children. The woman sitting next to him is a 30-year-old woman that he's had a prior relationship with that ended on bad terms. How do I know this, chat? Because she's a user of the Kiwi Farms, and in 2019, she joined to tell her story with her experience with Tarl Warwick. She was impregnated by him, and at 6 weeks, he told her that you will have an abortion, and she claims that she terminated her pregnancy to stay in a relationship with him, which he did not keep up with. She even moved to live with him in Vermont. This woman has had 3 other children with different men. So the both of them have 3 kids with different people that they're no longer in the lives of. And her experience sounds like that she's left the children to be with Tarl. She is a drug user, and so is Tarl. So the 2 of them live in Vermont, live stream, have very, very awkward relations with each other, and have 3 kids that they do not participate in the lives of, so that they can sit on the couch and smoke weed and stream. So that is to say that this video not only is the most awkward thing ever captured on a live stream, it is also a window into the fact that Tarl Warwick is absolute fucking white trash, the likes of which have never been seen before. Like, before this, it was just kind of like, oh, he uses an Alienware laptop as like a flashlight. He refuses to own a phone. He doesn't want to use any technology that actually works because he is waiting for something like Rumble to come along so that he can get money from them. Just like grifter, retard, piece of shit, dumb fuck. But now it's like, oh, you're actual fucking garbage. Your whole libertarian thing is that you're a man-child retard. And you're white fucking trash. I get it now. Now it makes sense. So, I was going to post this on my Twitter, but I don't know how to do it because this is effectively a kind of like sexual harassment at the very least, and it could be full-blown sexual assault because she's so obviously not into it, and he's just live streaming this. So I don't know if I should, like, for the Twitter, if I should, like, censor her face. I don't know if I should censor the groping. I'm debating what to do about it. But I'm going to... Tarl, I remember when I told you to join the Fediverse, and you called me a retard. Swiggity sweetie, motherfucker. I'm a very patient person. I wait for the day that you grope a woman that you force to have an abortion on camera, and then I strike like a inland Taipei, okay? I remember. Don't get carried away. Well, I'm open to suggestions if you guys have a theory. It's not like now, as is often the case, because the fucking internet drama streamers and the Turkey Toms of the world, they have their people watch this stream and then they learn from it and they make something out of whatever I show. And I think that like, mark my fucking words, this is like weird. 6 is like, in general, 6 is popular still somehow. And he's in general weird and unlikable. And as I mentioned, this is one of the most profoundly awkward things ever captured on webcam. So expect that to happen. Tip the cow. Oh, I'm rocking this boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't tip the boat over. Let me read her post, actually. She says, hey, so all the things you guys could have looked into, my Steam account was it. Wow, you spread photos of Nayella's Instagram, yet you failed to look into mine where I'm clearly drinking from the original Styx mug. By the way, she's wearing his merch. Like, he's grabbing her booba through his own merch. It's crazy. And she's wearing the stupid-ass fucking hat. Look, here's the thing. Tarl did something that I never could have imagined would have happened to me. He manipulated me into aborting our child on November 17th at 6 weeks, saying that if I chose to keep it, he would refuse to be emotionally invested and would only provide whatever fiscal support he was able. He would guilt me, saying that he didn't think I was ready to be a mother at 24, and he wasn't ready to be a father at 30. He said that if I was afraid to go to the doctor, he would concoct a tea using herbs from his garden, and that I wouldn't taste it or even know. Quote, it would be like a heavy period and we can get this behind us. I am a faithful... So Tarl is growing abortion herbs in his backyard? How often does he need the abortion tea that he's just growing abortion herbs willy-nilly in his back garden in Vermont? I would like some clarity to the statement. Can we get the Kiwi Farms drone to visit his house in Vermont and identify the abortion herbs in the backyard? She says, I am faithful, loyal, a pretty damn good cook, and I was kind until I punched him in the face for lying to me for an entire year. He still lies to me. It took a very long time, but I have moved on. I'm in a happy, loving relationship with an amazing, honest man. We're expecting a child in a couple months. So I think that she abandoned this child, I think who was also like her third child, so that she could go do drugs with Tarl. Have some Bordy tea. Home-brewed Bordy tea, as God intended. If Tarl wishes to live out his days with Elizabeth, by all means, he can try. I'm aware that people are capable of changing, in quotes, but I lived with him and his family for over a year, with promise of change, and it was all a lie. I learned from a very young age that lying only creates more problems, so I do my best to tell the truth. That being said, there are always 2 or more sides to every story, so they can all be truthful in conflict. I actually left a comment on her profile saying run, and I'm going to add an addendum. Never mind. You deserve each other. I think I need to correct that original statement, chat. I think I've had a change of opinion. How do we feel about this? How do we feel about this, chat? Give me your opinions. I'm reading. Give me a second to drink some water. Give me your take, chat. She's a philosopher, sis. Feeling pretty good. Based. Ricada level parenting. Not quite. We're getting there, though. She knows who he is and is choosing it, frowny face. Maybe she's there to get revenge. What do I think about this? Wait, I can click things. That's right. Hold up. Just depressing. I do not care. Drink the tea. Sneed. Shit's fucked and retarded. Josh is harsh but honest. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can fix her. Fuck them both. BPD. Feeling like I need some Bordy tea. Don't do it. Don't ever drink anything from Tarl's garden. You don't know what... He's like a dank gothic Satanist herbologist, okay? You don't know what kind of pots he's brewing. You don't want to know what kind of Ranar weed he's putting into your drinks. A match made in hell. Fuck the pair of them. They're both cunts. Facepalm. Delete post. Suffa sticks. Let it play out. It will be funny. I like your thinking. I think you are onto something. You get government you deserve, but the baby data you deserve. I mean, not yet. Maybe they'll have another. This 4th one's the charm. 5th one, she's like almost pushed out like an entire squad of U.S. soldiers. You can tell that she's pretty low IQ. So her kids are going to be our finest infantrymen. She gets 3 more kids out of Tarl. We got an entire like squadron. They can send those guys into Ukraine in a couple years. Okay. Sticks, shackle clinker. I'll close it out there. Okay. Milo has decided to do a thing where he's going to hang up pictures of his baby off. Speaking of making children that don't need to fucking exist irresponsibly, Milo says, in case it slips Nick Fuentes' mind to slip and return the baby off contract, or his printer is out of ink, someone is helpfully providing spare copies across a 6-block radius of his home on lamppost, vehicles, and other available spaces. And this is Milo canvassing the area and copies of his baby off contract around Nick Fuentes' townhome in Chicago. Just remember that Milo is a close associate of Donald Trump, and if anybody in the Kiwi Farms did anything like this, I would never hear the fucking end of it. That'll work. I'm sure that he'll give you attention one day, Milo. He would have given you attention if you had worn the Kiwi Farm shirt, like you said you were going to, but alas. And let's wash this down with a little bit of wholesome Bossman Jack content. Finally, thank God it's over, chat. Thank God the misery, the muck, the poor family decisions, the political mayhem is over. Bossman Jack is up to some stuff. In particular, he was super cracked out on stream, and the Windows Defender icon popped up and went doo-doo, and he thought, oh my God, I'm being hacked. So Him being 10,000 IQ, upon realizing that his computer was definitely compromised because Windows Defender said it needs to update, he decided that he would avoid any kind of keylogger by using the on-screen keyboard.
I think my computer might be keylogged, so I'm going to use my on-screen keyboard. Six. Beautiful, guys. Got it. Got it, dude. I did just call fat. That was a fat come up.
So instead of, like, cleaning his computer or whatever, he's just like, yeah, I'll just use the on-screen keyboard. Then I'm unhackable. He has, I think this is text that I'll read. He started, he has like this huge, so there was a time where he was buying precious metals and he sold all of his silver and gold, unfortunately. Now he's selling his CSGO items. He has CSGO equipment that's like several $1,000s each. Because he was like buying this as like a way to invest his money as like an equity, but he was just buying like CSGO skins. And I think he's selling them. Yeah, he's selling them for like half of what they're worth just to sell them as quickly as possible. So he sold this AWP Dragon Lore field tested skin for $5,859 minus the 15% platform fee. And I think that they said that was over $10,000 in value that he threw away. So that's what he's been doing. Yeah, this is like his version of silver and gold, I guess. It's better than just wasting it, I guess. But that money's going to be spent and gambled now. He chimped out at Chips, his current sponsor, because he's doing crack, and I don't think that there's anything more sophisticated to that. He says, when I wasn't playing on my computer because of the keylog situation, I depoted into Stake because I couldn't log into Chips because I had my email password and my Chips password saved onto my PC, right? Well, Chips found out about it and suspended my pay for 10 days. They want me to deposit in myself for the next 10 days worth of streams. I'm supposed to be getting $2K a day. $20K they're not giving me because I depoted into Stake. Like, what? And they have the audacity to use me to advertise their site and then suspend my pay while I'm down on Chips overall. I'm literally paying them to advertise their site. What the fuck, dude? I respect myself way too much to allow this bullshit. Fuck that man. Help me find a new sponsor, guys. They crossed the line for real. I don't even have a car. Meanwhile, these guys are eating, and I'm helping them tremendously. He sounds like Trump. He sounds like a mix when he writes and he's trying to be businessman Jack. He sounds like a mix of like Darkside Phil and Donald Trump. I don't know what it is. And it's not a 10-day suspension over a depot on another site. Flizzium asks, what's your contract say about it, boss? Bossman says, I don't know. You wouldn't be a Chips employee, would you? No, never not. That's the way I see it too. They don't want me up while I'm being sponsored by them? Huh? Vestige says, it's so disrespectful. You even keep up their banner during other streams. I should be stacking my money more and more every week, not be fucking down. Dude, the banner, yeah, like, so they're fucking me over for real. Even if it was in the contract, do y'all think that's a fair punishment? I could not log into Chips. I couldn't log in, literally. Thanks, guys. I'll figure it out. I had to tell y'all, though. I couldn't just hide this from y'all. And then he's continuing to be upset. He's locked into a contract with Bloody Bastard Beast. What does that mean? Well, I'm contracted in. Just gotta stick it out. Great. Dude, 1 month from when I signed it. Dude, that's who gave me the suspension. I'm not supposed to talk about it, or I would. Who knows at this point, you know? This just seems super unjust to me. Maybe if I had access to Chips, that would make a little more sense. I don't know why he can't figure out that these casinos don't want them depositing their money into other casinos. Like, they give him free money with the expectation it will be returned to them. So why would they give him free money to donate to Eddie? I just don't understand how he doesn't get that. Maybe it's because he's cracked out, chat. How could these shady crypto sites behave in such a way? I mean, they're being pretty rational. Ooh, there's some Bossman.
Yeah, it's a Twitch rule, dude. You can only get notified for one stream a day. So say I went live this morning, you would get notified for that, or yesterday morning, and then the afternoon I streamed, you wouldn't get a notification for that. So just some rule that Twitch has. I don't know. A lot of people say they get notifications from everybody else, but me, I mean, dude, I can also there's times I can't even ban people on my Twitch. Right now, I can't unban anybody or ban people. It's like I'm shadow banned. It's really strange. I don't know, man. It seems like the world's out to get me sometimes, but I know that's not the case. But yeah.
Dude, that crack paranoia is like the most real symptom of any drug I've ever seen.
I didn't either, bro, until I guess a month ago, a Twitch employee was in my chat, dude. He had the Twitch badge next to his name. I'm sure people were here for that, but we're there for that. And he said, yeah, it's just once a day. But then I've had people tell me that they don't get any notifications, and they do for every other streamer they follow. So I don't know what's going on.
Was that the Twitch employee that he called a fucking pussy, and then you said you fucked his mom because he asked about the door in the back of your room? Like, I get that was one of the best Bossman moments, because the guy joins in and he just sees the door, and it's like so obvious. It's like so distracting that the door is just like unhinged. And I guess the Twitch employee thought that there'd be a funny story to it. Like, oh, dude, like, my dog went fucking crazy and smashed into the door and left like a cartoon hole in it, and I have to replace it, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. Instead, it's just like, I'm a violent retard, and I broke my own door, and I'm too lazy to fix it, and my own father is too lazy to fix it, so I just roll it in and out of the way like the boulder in front of the cave that Jesus was laid to rest in. Yeah. Cool. I do enjoy my Bossman tent chat. I think that there is the Reddit segment now. Let's see. This is from Off My Chest by an anonymous user. And he says, I give up. I've so far asked 3 girls out in my life, and they've all said no. Every last one. I've never felt more like shit in my entire life. Getting turned down that many times is sad, bad, and is embarrassing. And it's something I can't change. I have to forever live with the fact I've been turned down 3 times in a row without a single yes. I might even get rejected more in the future if I were to try again. But to avoid that, I'm not going to try. I'm going to stay a virgin. Not going to keep feeling like shit after getting turned down. I tried 3 times and that's enough. I should have been told yes already by now. Missed out on so many opportunities in high school, but it is what it is. That time is gone. I'm not sexually attractive enough for the women I want. I am 21 years old. Swing low, sweet chariot. Mama's gonna carry you home. It's sad. Sometimes it ends real fucking early for you guys. You know how it ends. Like 3 strikes, you're out. 3rd strike, well, you got to put on the chastity belt. Kamala Harris will mail you from the Department of Commerce your chastity belt, and you just got to wear it forever because you lost. Imagine the rules. Imagine if that's how it worked. You had to convince a girl, like, on your 3rd try, or else you just lose it. Imagine how scary it would be to ask, like, your 3rd one out. Like, you would have to find somebody who's real down bad, and then they could just extort you for, like, whatever. Like, oh yeah, you want to ask me out? I think I saw that you asked 2 other people out before. Okay, well, you know, I'm a big fan of Rolls Royce. You would see a real improvement in the gene pool, I think. Real fast. Haitian migrant GF. Don't even joke about such things. Okay, so I do actually have a little bit extra. A little secret extra. But I'm going to save it for the very end of the stream. Usually I don't do that, but it's kind of related to the outro song. So I will save it. Chat, have I missed anything for this stream? Or shall we proceed to enjoy our weekends? Josh, let's be real, this dude isn't driving luxury cars. I mean, if that's what it took, if it was your 3 prostitute and you offered a lot of money, I would kind of get it. No, you can't do a prostitute. You have to score naturally by Milo Yiannopoulos rules. You need to feed her your cat. There are people that make posts about marrying and impregnating 12-year-olds. Yeah, that's true. He probably is a groiper. Virgin groiper at 21. Third strike, I'm out, groiper. My dick fell off, groiper. Haitian GF groiper. Cobe's drama. Cobe's drama is that Naked and Laughing is still hanging around like a fucking what's that thing that's on your asshole when you shit too hard? A hemorrhoid. She's hanging around like a hemorrhoid. Voicemails. Do I have any? I do have a couple, but none of them seem that interesting. There's one guy trying to solicit me to live in his apartment in Montana. Oh my god, this guy left me a message, and I'm just staring at it on my phone. And I see pizza at least 9,000 times in the message. I'll play it until I get bored of it. But I'm legit looking at the transcription, and it says pizza like maybe 100 times. Let's see if this wants to play. It does not want us. It like shows up in the thing. Why would it not want to play? I don't understand this app, man. Apps in general just suck ass. There we go.
Hey Josh, this is Haramburger calling to wish you.
Oh my god, it's him.
Day. Listen, we gotta talk one pizza enjoy to another. But when you're moving back to the U.S., I know you don't want to dox yourself before you get back over the border. But if you got a choice, you got to consider somewhere in the Midwest. It's the new pizza capital of America. We got every style, and you know how you brag about the cheese selection in Europe? Well, we got all them cheeses. We got just as many, and we put them on pizzas. We got levels of pizzas. We got national chains. We got the Domino's, the Pizza Hut, the Little Caesars, Papa John's, Marco's. We got that pepperoni magnifico. Get the triple the amount. Strips and slices. Unbelievable. And you got the little chains like the Jets Pizza, Papa Murphy's, Sbarro's.
The distortion from the phone adds a lot to the quality of the voicemail.
And you got the little family places like the Sonos. You got them little pepperonis that curl up when you cook them, and they get the juice inside. Broadway's, Fazoli's. I'm talking about the good one over on Glenstone.
I told you it was very long.
Happy's Pizza. And you get the weird things that you only go to on a bed or a dare because you're too fucking drunk. Pizza Populis, that Chicago-style deep dish. Jon Stewart used to say there were marinara swimming pools for rats. His words, not mine. Or you got California Pizza Kitchen.
Wait, hold up. There's this one, too. This is this guy trying to solicit me into his rape dungeon in Montana.
You got freedom to eat any fucking thing in America, but if you put that cardboard in your mouth, don't let your mother catch you doing it. Smack the skin right out of your face as if you swore at the
Is he from Chicago? Does he have a Chicago accent? I never would have expected
Anyways,
that.
Consider it. Think it over. You have a good one, all right?
He has an accent. His accent is like inherently threatening. He's not trying to sound threatening. He's trying to sound nice, but his accent is threatening. It has a threatening quality to it. There's this one too.
I, for one, loved the Discord call-in segment, so I think this should definitely make a return. And hey, when you move to the U.S., you should pick Montana. I got a spare room and everything.
Montana. I don't think I want to go to Montana. You know how many serial killers are up there in like the Côte d'Ivoire or whatever the fuck in Not Cote d'Ivory, the other one. Coeur d'Alene, whatever the fuck. The northern place in Idaho. There's so many serial killers up there in those mountains, bro. You can hide your body. Nobody will ever find them. It's a New York accent. Ah, give up. Okay. I will no longer stall. I will do the super chats. Then I have a special thing for those that stick around. Schneeberg, Stein, Goldman, for $50 says, Happy Pizza Day. Thank you. We just had our pizza call-in. Now we have our pizza super chat. Thank you very much. Hummel Guardsman, for one, says, The mutant bears, his heresy on the outside, the traitor hides it in his soul, the emperor protects. I think that is also a Warhammer 40k thing. Anime Sex, Cope and Sneed, for one, says, When I said I was high test, I was just memeing. I didn't actually think I was a virile, fertile stud. I'm so fucked and scared, honestly. Bro, you are so fucking weird. Sneedo, for one, says, Is Sneed today gone forever? Yes, it was seized directly by the TLD's owner, which is Donuts. And that's unfortunate because Donuts owns a lot of those fun TLDs. Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed, for one, says, I need more of your advice. You're not my e-daddy, but my big brother who I like to piss off and annoy. Well, you're not asking me for advice on this message. TP Deluxe for 2 says, Could you please stop mentioning Butter Dog, the dog with the butter? Haitians are eating our pets and we don't need you to make them sound even tastier, thanks. If anyone eats the fucking Butter Dog, the dog with the butter on, the Butter Dog with the butter on, they got some fucking problems, okay? Maybe that's why the black guy put the butter on the Butter Dog, the dog with the butter on him. He was gonna eat him. He was basting the Butter Dog. He wasn't putting butter on his head for no reason. It was to baste that nigga so he could be even tastier. That's some gourmet butter. It's not a butter dog, it's a gourmet butter dog. Shocking, the developments here. Kurt Eichenwald, Anime Masturbator for 5 says, Glorious Kiwi Emperor, what in your esteemed opinion was the point of the Nikocado thing? What is the next part of his plan? I've already said this. His thing was to make money, because remember, he's the top 1% earner, one of the top 1% earners on OnlyFans, so he makes millions of dollars. OnlyFans creators made over $6 billion in 2023, and then he was a huge multi-million subscriber channel on YouTube, and then he's lost the weight, and in the comments, he's posting these before and after pictures. Everyone's like, oh my God, what's your secret, bro? His sponsorship. It's coming. He's going to partner with one of those things. Like, it's going to be like Subway, like a restaurant, or like Soylent, or one of those subscription services where they just send you groceries and little instruction manuals on how to cook it. He's going to do it. I'm telling you. Millennium Zaku for 2 says, sick of all the Enoch shit. Please read some real scripture. And then there is shit that goes hard on Hex. It's a very, very, very fat man, and he has a shirt that says, He who does not lick the clit should not get to hit. Kuchinthians 169. Extremely tasteful. I like how even in this picture, the woman between the photographer and this fat fuck is like averting her gaze so she doesn't have to look at that shirt because she hates it, and she hates him. Palpable contempt. Look at her face, just like completely done with it. Stino for one says, I'm going to post on the Kiwi Farms from my old ass 3DS and join Nintendo prison stalker child. I would be very impressed if you can actually do that. Stupid fuck for 5 says, I've got a 60-inch TV for $200. I didn't want a smart TV, but I couldn't turn the price down, and here I am watching this show on it. I'd almost like you're a real broadcaster. Oh God, those shitty smart TVs are just like, they're full of ads. If you're ever in an Airbnb and they have one of those fucking TVs, it like literally plays ads. Like you're just on the HDMI main page and it's like, actually sweaty, you're gonna listen to an ad now. Like, bro, I'm gonna snap. You guys better know which brands don't play fucking ads, because if I get a TV and there's an ad on it, you'll never see me again. I'm going to jail. I will be in fucking prison, okay? My hamster is a turf for one says, podcast spinoff idea for Josh, mad at the legislative process. It sounds extremely boring. I don't know enough. Just in general, assume I hate everything that gets done in government ever. Strefleria for 5 says, nothing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Shuskis for 2 says, Josh, I pray you defeat Buffalo Bear, Liz Fung Jones, and his high-tech Troon Goons once and for all Sneed. I'm working on it. One day we'll have good news, I promise. It's in the mail at some point. Shuskis 2 for 2 says, what will it take for you to do an entire stream in your impeccable impressions? What's funny is that if you read comments on videos that are not like the official Mad at the Internet channels, there's so many people complaining about my accents. This is a suffer. David S877 for 25 says, suffer Jannies, except KF Jannies, they're cool. That's a contentious opinion. Thank you very much, though. Haramburger for 2 says, crawling in my bed. Wait, what? Crawling in my bead? Crawling in my bed, my butt, it will not heal. A girl just took my band, confusing why I kneeled myself. That's an extremely difficult thing to read. Thank you. Longboarder 2 for 1 for 5 says, happy pizza day, Josh. And welcome back to Linux. Thanks for giving me some entertainment on my sick day, keeping me sane while I am sneezing like crazy. Well, so hopefully you get better. Kind of weird time of year to get allergies, though. Maybe you're Australian. Blitz here, for 1, says, in a very shocking update by Jagex, Sir Quam now says no tranny may harm me, and any player whose body type doesn't match their pronoun now deals no damage and is instantly lumberaged by his attacks. I didn't realize that Sir Quam was such a fucking giga chud. Is his avatar, like when you talk to him, is it just like the chud guy, like in RuneScape mode? Just like a low polygon chud? Dark Hallowed for 20 says, I thought this would be relevant to the discussion, and then there is a Zitter link, and it says, and it's a video. Okay, let's see.
Cash up. You already got it. I'm saying y'all
this kid is a TikTok channel where he tries to sell a fake PS5 to blacks. Every single one just steals it from him.
You tripping, gang? Oh, bro, chill out. Bro, the people. Hey, you can get it to me, bro. Chill out. No, bro, give me that. Black guy. Oh. Niggas are terrible. Chill out, bro. Fuck. Hey, bro, chill out, bro. What the fuck?
This is fake.
Hell no, bro. I don't want no.
Better get some of these right here.
Shit. No,
bro. No, and
no.
his sandals. Damn.
I want damn for real though. You can't. Damn. Cash up.
I hope these boxes contain a full printout explainer on per capita. Yeah, good luck with that one. Thank you. Space Allen for 20 says, Ham Jam. Thank you very much, Space Allen. I appreciate it. 14 Branchland for 2 says, bring back the guillotine. I agree. Long overdue. Sneedo for 1 says, former Maddie archiver on Chester Sewer Slide, Avisi also killed himself around the same time. Both were helping to film a documentary on Hollywood sexual abuse. Oh, that's convenient. At least we didn't have to hear about what other people who are popular in Hollywood are also rapists. That's a good thing for everybody. Schneeden Feeden for 2 says, in Danish there's a word, Tomkriege, translated to intestine warrior, also known as faggot in the English language. Learned it from the corp, the more you know. Interesting. In Danish, they say intestine warrior. That's what a strong Nordic heritage. Now I see where the Swedes get it. Eugla Sneed for 10 says Sneed. Thank you very much, Eugla Sneed. I appreciate it. Pancake Luchador for 5 says, hey Josh, hope you're having a good pizza day. I am having a good day. Thank you very much. Sir Calf for 1 says, Sony's rampant Judaism has no end. Helldivers 2 announced that new stratagems are paywalled. Starf David emoji. I miss February era Helldivers so fucking much. I'm very happy that I downloaded the game and I got into it when the hype was good, because I got like a couple good hours in and it was pretty decent, and then the next time I went into play, everyone was like, don't even fucking bother, it's shit now. I gave up at the exact moment I gave up on Helldivers was when I could no longer pop the heads off those giant ass things like little ticks using my rocket launcher. At that point I was just like, oh, fuck this. Aryan Queen Generator for 5 says, please, Josh, you must help Nick. Nick appears to have lost hope and stopped streaming as much. I need more Nick being an idiot. Please text him that everyone cares about him and needs his cuckold energy. I'll do you one better. Wow, it sure is nice to have epically owned Nick Rekieta once and for all. It appears that us Kiwi Farms users sure were on top of our game and convinced everyone that we were right all along. With nobody around to correct the record, we sure have won completely and totally over Nick Rekieta. Joyous day, Kiwi Farms users. I think that'll help, bro. Euclid Need for 10 says, clipped decision status link. Enjoy. Winky face. Okay, let's see. This might be the craziest Uno reverse card ever pulled by a child predator. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so, motherfucker.
I'm attracted to every fucking thing.
Are you?
Yes.
You're attracted to everything.
You got a nice dick.
You don't even see my dick. Bruh.
Please.
Bruh.
The black guy's just like, he's like the most mental defensive position a black man can take, where he's just going, bruh, like unable to process, unable to handle the 10,000 IQ white pedophile's attacks. It's like one of those kung fu hits that like ruptures your liver and you just immediately like shit yourself and die from one punch. Thank you. Judy Tester for 3 says, and you can't see it on the overlay, but I can see it on mine. It appears to be a dab of butter emoji and a snake emoji, as if to imply that there is such a thing as a snake with the butt on them. And I don't think that there is. I think that such a thing would be impossible. Octavia Sales Rep for 5 says, the snake schmuck for sure had a Serval cat and was trying to breed it with his cat to sell the kittens. Well, that is fucking terrible. I watched the last episode of Chimp Crazy, because it came out on the 9th, I think, and that was a fucking crazy mini doc. And the exotic animal trade shit has to fight. It's unreal actually that we have exotic animal trading in the U.S. still. Like, I think it's harder to bring like animal bones across state lines than it is to bring like human remains. So how the fuck are they trafficking like servals and the most venomous snake to ever fucking live, and then like kangaroos and shit? It's like crazy. News Hammy 69 for 2 says, my friend told me they really need to go home and feed their baby hamsters. I told them that was a terrible diet for a baby. That's stupid. Euclid Need for 5 says, thanks for the streams. Going to bed. We'll catch the VOD. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Thanks for the update. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 10 says, praise Yehovah. Pen is safe from the hungry Japanese and Chinese. And then there is a YouTube link. Let's see if this one is age restricted. This is CBS News Chicago. Penguin lost at sea, found in Japan.
A runaway penguin has been found safe in Japan nearly 2 weeks after she first went missing. The 6-year-old penguin known as Pen, who was born and raised in captivity, was traveling with staff in August when she escaped into open waters. But miraculously, the arrival of Typhoon Shanahan helped keep her safe. With no boats able to operate, the penguin avoided collisions and getting caught in fishing nets. On Sunday, someone spotted Pen swimming nearly 30 miles away from where she first went missing. She had no injuries and was in good physical shape. I do have to say, though, maybe Pen, maybe this is wrong for me to say, wanted to be free.
She's like, I'm free. Let me go.
I mean, went escaping into open waters. But either way, I hope Pen's okay.
Yeah, I'm glad she dodged all of the boats or bad stuff that could have happened to her.
Yeah.
She just wanted a vacation. She didn't want to be let loose in the wild. Just wanted a little vacation. That's okay. That's cute. That's a nice update, I guess. Happy the penguin is safe. Thank you. Rickenbacker, for one, says, stalker child leader. I know one of your henchmen have been training squirrels. It's clear they are training them to eat my tomatoes and shit on my chairs. Enjoy prison. I see that the dastardly totality of all my crimes are catching up to me. Haramburger for 2 says, after the Skull Merchant came out in Dead by Daylight and started holding matches hostage with drone coverage, there is now a hidden 1 hour time limit. The entity will kill survivors. Killer wins. I remember when the Skull Merchant came out, I bought her and I played her. And I remember I laid down my drones. You could just lay them like right on the fucking... Because you have 3 of them, and you can lay them like right next to the generators. And in some situations, they can't help but go through them. So you could easily trap all 3 generators at once. And the only way for the survivors to win is that they all 3 have to go on the gens at once, so that you have to pick which ones you're going to go after, and they have to complete them that way. It was a complete fucking mess. I remember winning a game that went on for like 20 minutes because they were trying to do it one at a time, and I could just lock them down. I remember thinking, as playing the killer and winning, like, this is bullshit. This is actually... If I was a survivor, I'd be fucking pissed. What a shitty design. A killer should not camp. A killer should, like, hunt. You know, that's like the fucking game. The Snake Jew reminds me of this, and then there's a Catbox file, which we have much luck with all the time. Oh, here we go. Wow, that is pretty close, actually. Yeah. I can't believe it. All this time, Bossman Jack is a Bossman Jew. Dun, dun, dun. Terrifying. Crispy Legs for 10 says, Happy Friday the 13th. Thank you. You too. I appreciate it. Tetrabrax for 20 says, I don't understand why people hate DSP. He is just some boring guy who streams games to make some walking around money, who sometimes does something funny. I just don't get it. Well, I mean, he is pretty, like, deceitful. He's, like, dishonest whenever he thinks he can get away with it. I kind of understand, like, why people feel this obsessive need to, like, constantly fact-check him. But I just don't see, like, the actual purpose of it. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't care enough about his antics to, like, want to debunk him constantly on every single thing that he says. You know what I mean? But I kind of get, like, where the obsession comes from. I don't understand the anger, though. I would never want to follow someone that just makes me angry. Thank you. Verdier for 2 says, what's the over-under on Eugenia Cooney pulling a reverse Muscato, and she's currently 200 pounds? Very, very little, I think. I think that she'll die before that happens. Longboarder 241 for 2 says, rare clip of DSP versus Ralph Circuit 2024. Bro, you know that the clips are $10, so that they don't hold the stream too long. It's a 6-second clip I'll play out.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
I don't know who's who in this situation. Ralph would definitely get his ass kicked. I think you're wrong. Tetrabax for 20 says, yeah, get the grifters out if Trump wants to actually do anything in 2024. I agree. And Tetrabax for 20 says, Trump is good at identifying his enemies, but still sucks at identifying his allies. Same story as in 2016. That's because he likes ass kissers. He likes people that suck his ass. Laura Loomer, I bet you, Laura Loomer sucks that ass. Good. That's the only explanation. You know it's true. You know in your heart of hearts I'm right. There's no other explanation. Thank you. Steenberg Stein Goldman for 5 says, voting is gay, and if you vote, your neighbor cattle. I agree. That's based. Coleadante for 15 says, Trump's first act back in office was to open a commission on who slashed Loomer's tires. This is a reference to when she drove on rotten tires until they blew, then claimed they were slashed. I remember this. I don't know why I remember this, but I suddenly do. Thank you. He Deedley for 1 says, 666 is doppelganger Greer, but can move his face and has non-purchase sex. Greer? I always mix him up with the other guy, the Rageaholic. He's like a less successful and funny Rageaholic. Rageaholic can actually make a good point every so often. Bobby is God for 5 says, you won, Joshua Moon. You succeeded, Joshua Moon. You're smart, Joshua Moon. You're the smartest litigant ever, Joshua Moon. You're a success, Joshua Moon. You had a great stream today, Joshua Moon. Thank you, Bubble God. I appreciate it. That's a reference to a random quote, by the way. Coco for 2 says, my friend made this the reaction in the Minecraft movie trailer. Okay. You know, it's like the same 2 people who send me links over and over again. I've just realized this. And it's always like $2 super chats. Like, here, look at this link. Okay, look, I got you. It's Sneed Seed. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty good. Thanks. That is indeed Jack Black's photoshopped with Sneed. Bunker Housing for 2 says, to that girl attaching with sticks, I'd like to know if there's no easy way to success, there is only hard work. I don't know what the fuck that means, but there's a comment like that on her profile, so I'm assuming that this is like your way of tormenting her. Sneedo for 2 says, I found Bossman's new license plate. Oh boy. It is a Friends of Coal, Virginia license plate that is typed out to spell crack. Yeah. I don't know if he's a friend of Coal. Oh, because he loves black people. Okay, I got you. Canada is American soil for 2 says, great name. Green makeup is the thing because it wears better and is more comfortable on skin and it lasts longer than face paint. I don't know what that means. Why would you ever want to have green face paint on? Thank you. Select a username for 10 says, it's been ever been to the Coffee Cup, Hall's, Joe's, Patty's, or any other P. Cola restaurants? Ever go to the Wentworth Museum? They renamed it because he was in the Klan. I might have. Joe Patty's sounds familiar. Is Joe Patty's the seafood place that's on the coast? There's a really nice seafood place that has like live seafood that they catch like daily. And I think that's Joe Patty's. I think they have a restaurant affixed to it that cooks the seafood on the spot. I don't think I've been to the restaurant, but if that's the seafood place, I've definitely been there to get seafood. Because when I was doing keto, I ate a lot of fish. So I would go there and I would get like whatever they had. And I would just fry it, basically. Thank you. Seek a Loather for 10 says, is there any difference between having DSP supporters doxed and having Cognitive Thoughts supporters doxed? Yeah, because when they were doxing DSP supporters, they were doing it to try and extort him into doing something. If they're just doxing COG supporters, and when I say doxing, I mean just finding public information about them and posting it because they can. Yeah, there is a difference. Like, there's a difference in, like, extortion and shit. Devious to V for 3 says, I'm feeling generous. Here you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tetrabacks for 20 says, why can't he just buy a GF and RuneScape like the rest of us? I think he tried that at one point. When he was first starting streaming on gambling sites, he had a girlfriend that he met in RuneScape, and she dumped him. Tetrabacks for 20... Oh, I read that. Thank you. Brianna Wu, Hyperbimbo for 10 says, Ralph talking about his broken hip, speaking of him being holed. Okay, that sounds funny. Let's see. Oof, ouch, ow, my bones. My bones. I tried lifting my guns up so I could poo, and I broke my hip. I actually did fracture my hip in that wreck. I guess that's why it's been hurting so much. I finally went to the doctor yesterday. It's what's called a non-displaced fracture, so it doesn't look like I'll need surgery. They did give me some pain pills, which led to the lower quality second promo yesterday. So I think I'm just going to deal with the pain. Also, I hate opioids, and the last thing I would need is to start liking them somehow. I know that A-logs are desperate to see me back on the sauce, but they'll just have to be satisfied with me almost breaking my hip and me in physical pain. I have to go see a therapist today to see what all I'm going to have to do to set up a schedule for after my treatment, which is electronic bone stimulation. I prefer it when the nurse gives me manual bone stimulation. But I guess I'll follow the doctor's advice. What a gross, fat fucking faggot.
Hello, Killstream Faithful, and hello, DSP Phil Burnell. DSP, dumb, stupid, and petulant.
Hey, AI, can you give me a backronym for the letters DSP that says something really nasty that would hurt his feelings?
I just now came up with that on the fly because that's how I roll. I'm not a joke like you, Phil.
I'm sure you did not write that down. And I'm sure you're not literally reading notes right now as you're looking down at the table.
No, I can actually speak for a living. Quite quick-witted, actually. But
I'm very smart, actually. I'm very smart.
Regardless, I just wanted to say I'm going to miss a show today, and I hate that I've missed all these shows recently, but I actually went to the doctor. I know the A-logs are desperate for me to fall off the wagon again, and I actually went to the doctor yesterday, and because of my hip, and it's been hurting ever since that car wreck, and I actually
Somebody told me in chat that I should get this checked out. I actually did crack my hip. So that's why I was a little bit off in the second video. I actually got medicine for that, but I don't really like it, so I don't think I'm going to take it anymore because it kind of makes me feel sick. It's opioid actually, and you know, I'm a pill guy, no doubt, over the years, but opioids kind of make me feel sick and like, I don't know, like sick to my stomach basically. So I'm gonna just do the therapy that they've suggested, and so I don't think I'll have to have any surgery or anything on it. It's just a minor crack. But that's not why I'm missing the show today, actually. It's because I have to deal with a family issue and I have to deal with a personal issue. And I won't say anything more than that because there's no need to give the A-Logs any more ammo. I wanted to do the DSP pre-festival show basically today, but instead I'm gonna take this weekend. I may do a show tomorrow, depends on if I have to travel because of that personal issue or not. I may do a show tomorrow.
He's going to California to see Zonda, the son he actually cares about. He gave May a daughter and he doesn't care about her, so he disposed of her like trash. Poor little, he disposed like trash his own daughter that he named after his mother. Gave her his mother's name as to show how much he loved and honored his mother, the only woman that he could ever trust and really love unconditionally. Threw her away like trash because she doesn't have a penis, and that's what he really cares about. He wants a little boy with a penis because that's his heir or whatever the fuck. Yep. Stay gluttonous, Ralph. Anime sucks. Cope and Sneed for 5 says Catbox file. Still the best advice you ever gave me, big bro, not a dragon. Okay, let me see what this is. Oh my fuck, bro, you're fucking weird. He sent me a DM and he sent me like, he kept apologizing for like annoying people on the forum. And like I just responded and said, you worry too much about shit that doesn't matter. So he has literally framed this and hanged this on his wall. Dude, just imagine the money I would make if I liked anime. I got the parasocial magic, okay? If I just liked the anime, I would have so much more. Sneedberg Stein Goldman for 5 says those pizza voicemails would make perfect audio logs for a Kiwi Farms video game. Maybe in one where I'm like dead, I'm kidnapped and murdered. Tetra Bags for $200 says great stream. Have a happy pizza day. You too. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Vordier for 2 says, I thought of a funnier punchline. What do you think the chance is that Eugenia Cooney is doing a reverse Nikocado, has secretly pre-recorded 2 years worth of videos, and is actually dead? Probably also 0. She's too stupid to think of something funny like that. Keth King Khan for 1 says the moon landing was fake. Fascinating point of view. The Bugs for 1 says since Sneed Today is gone forever, would you make a Sneed Today Survivor trophy? I probably should have given a trophy out contemporaneously when we came off of tour, but I didn't know that would be the end of tour. I can try to find everybody that made a post during the time we were only on tour and give them a trophy. Murdoch Chan for 1 says going to watch Maddie on my Samsung smart fridge next. Oh great, please contribute to the botnet. That's great. Lucifer 210 for 1 210 for 10 says X-Link. And this apparently is a clip of oh wait. No. You're spoiling things. Silence, stalker child. Thank you. Gay store spokesman for 5 says, due to insurance need, the gay store returns and complaints phone number will be forwarded to our number 1 spokesperson, Joshua Gay Products and Accessories Moon. It's basically already my voicemail. You can't make it much worse. Sneedo for 1 says, funny how there's a Dodge Charger in the background of that PS5 prank video. How typical and now. Dude, people are shocked when I tell them that the fucking Charger is a black people car. Or as they sometimes say, a drug dealer car, which is a polite euphemism for black people. Ice Mexican for 10 says, the Styx video reminds me of this guy. And then there is a X link. Nothing will ever top this video.
Birthday. Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend, who is amazing. Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend, who is amazing. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, today is also my birthday.
Marcus, you don't want to do this. Let her go.
Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of his home waiting negotiation terms.
This is Rover 2L2, Eye in the Sky. We have visual on target. I repeat, we have visual on target.
Hi, we are live in front of a home where a woman is being held hostage.
News, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of
My fellow Americans, I know we are all aware of the current market situation developing. I want to assure you I have my top FBI agent on the case. My fellow Americans, I know we are all aware of the current market situation developing. I want to assure you I have my top FBI agent on the case.
We're on our way.
Let's go get this son of a bitch.
Oh no, now it's rounding all the way back to king shit. It's come full circle.
Man is considered to be armed and dangerous.
He's surrendering peacefully. He's doing exactly what he's been told by the sheriff.
The extraordinary heroics of the group known as the Avengers has been to many a cause not only for...
That's pretty good. That's probably. I mean, it got like a little bit too convoluted. But the first bit where they just started doing like body parts and shit, that's really fucking clever. That's really good. Thank you. Porglack for 1 says 742 Evergreen Terrace, Springfield, USA. I've got the last super chatter docs. I have a feeling that's not a real address. Red Bean Ward for 1 says, how much would you charge to watch these 3.5 minutes? I need your expert professional opinion. $30. I don't know, bro. It better be funny. Like, I don't know, post it in Manny if you just want my opinion. If it's funny, you can link it. Brianna Wu, Hyperbimbo for 2 says, Josh, all domesticated animals were once wild. Why do you want to limit the pioneers of our age like Tanya? Given enough time, we will have chimpanzee butlers and snake friends too. Also, fuck PETA. Because our last attempt at domesticating a chimpanzee resulted in the end of civilization as we know it. So I think we should learn our fucking lesson and stop trying to reinvoke slavery. Peshima Ham for 1 says, since you work from home, how do you balance work and leisure time during your week? Do you take days off? Very, 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 very poorly. I basically cycle through bouts of like intense work and then intense nothing, basically. Devious the V for 1 says, watch the Chimp Crazy doc. I was rooting for the Chimp Lady. Everyone else was Big Nose Tribe. It's true, they were. It's a little bit hard because they're so smug and nasty. You don't really like them. I felt kind of bad for the stupid Chimp Lady. Whistling Cat 3258 says, happy Pizza Day volume warning, and then there's a video. Okay. It's apparently a loud video.
Do you guys hear that? It's like a weird noise.
Nice try.
Wake up. It's time to wake up, chat.
Nice try. Thought you could boss man me? Real Frog God for 1 says, found out there was another horrible snake breeder by the name of Charles Reed who did the same thing but was breeding poisonous snakes to actually kill them. Are you referring to the Indian guy? That like... Oh, it's just some random retard with a snake. There you go. Colianante for 15 says, Bossman can't be a Jew. The Talmud has clear passages explaining how and why you must never get it twisted. Trainwrecks is actually reading from it verbatim. I can believe that. I've never heard of a Jewish gambling addict. Thank you. Aryan Queen Generator for 2 says, Aryan Queen Generator for 200. Thank you, Kiwi Daimo. I enjoy Nick's new stream tonight. You're welcome. Malacalypse the Younger for 20 says, I know you write Substack articles, but do you read them? If so, for your consideration, After the State, The Coming of Neo-Medievalism, and The Great Decentralized by Kulak, a bit Yarvin-esque. Not usually, no. I write about things that I'm very interested in, and I'm not interested in reading about it too much right now. I'm more focused on my Sigma grind set. You know what I mean? Thank you, though. Gormless Wonder for one says, the extra videos posted here are Kino, a great ad for your Gumroad. You should be proud of them. Holy shit, the India one. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you have enjoyed the bonus content. As I said, I'm posting the Gumroad stuff a week after it comes out on the Rumble. If you are interested in that, you can always subscribe to the Gumroad. Thank you. Vordier for 10 says YouTube link. Thank you, Vordier. I appreciate it. Sir Calf, for one, says, regarding your no-disc drive point, now that I think about it, when I bought a physical PC copy of Skyrim on release, it was an empty CD that just led you to the Steam and gave you a Steam key. Happy Pizza Day. I remember that. I remember seeing pictures of it, but I just bought it off Steam. Cole for 2 says, my friend sent me this in reaction to your condemnation of Trump's. He hopes he has your vote. Okay, let's see it.
In the United States, we have the worst niggers. I'm talking about the filthiest gorilla monkey niggers. Nobody has ever seen niggers like ours. These stupid fucking niggers. You go to...
Chad, is this real? Can somebody write the FEC? Did he actually say this? Dude, oh my God, I can't believe Trump said that. Verbatim. This is crazy. What's happening to our democracy, chat? I condemn that in the strongest possible terms. Don Ujo for 2 says, anime sucks. Learn to let that which does not matter truly slide. Truly the best advice you can give somebody. Tis the Happy for 20 says, from Hawaii with love. And this will be the last one before I close out. And there's one more, and then I'll close out. Somebody else super chat, so the last one's not from Anime Sucks. Cope and Sneed, please. Okay, this is from Hawaii with love, apparently.
We think our soda's the finest on the market today. And what's the best way to prove it?
Oh, crashing my fucking browser tab, apparently.
On the market today. And what's the best way to prove it? We just ask the average person on the street. Sir, can we talk with you for a moment, please?
Well, I don't know. I gotta go catch Boss Pololo House in 2 minutes.
Sir, this won't take too long. What's your name, please?
James Kilpatrick Mulhaney Montague Del Rio Okada Jr. III.
Mr. Okada, would you have a seat over here, please?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. This seat over here, this seat over there.
This seat is fine, Mr. Okada.
This one is good.
Yeah, have a seat.
I like that seat over there.
Have a seat right over here.
This one is fine. Okay.
Have a seat, Mr. Okada.
Sure.
Mr. Okada doesn't know it, but we're about to participate in a secret taste test.
Oh, what is this? What secret taste test?
Mr. Okada, what we want you to do first of all, Mr. Okada.
What the fuck am I watching?
Mr. Okada, first of all, we want you to take a sip from Soda X.
Okay, Soda X.
Soda X.
Soda X.
That's the one.
Shoot.
Okay. Okay, now, Mr. Okada, take a cracker.
Take a cracker?
No, eat a cracker, Mr. Okada.
Eat a cracker.
Yeah, that's... Okay, now, Mr. Okada, what I'd like you to do is to take a sip from Soda A. Yeah, sip, Mr. Okada. Okay. Okay, you tasted them both. Now, Mr. Okada, which do you like better, Soda A or Soda X?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about soda, so I say Soda X.
Soda X. Mr. Okada, let's try it again, shall we? Okay, take another sip from Soda X, please. Okay, now take another cracker.
I'm muted. Okay, sorry. Anime Sex Scope and for one says, I don't know if I should say it, but there's a baby Sneeder on the way. I'm scared as edge over. I don't believe you. And then Black Star Sneed for 10 says, Jan is streaming tonight, unrelated to Fish Tank. He has a video about black people. Okay, this is the last one before I close out. Okay, never mind. There's somebody else. I think he wants me to watch the video too.
I hold in my hand never-before-seen court documents that prove DJ Academics covered up the defiling of a young maiden. The story is thus: he summoned her on a chariot, and then she alleges that she was defiled sexually while she slumbered by one of his henchmen. She later awoke to find him in his dungeon, watching footage of the incident on security cameras in the magic mirror he held. Now, it's really stupid of him if you think about it. Now, if it were me, I never would have recorded such a grave misdeed. I don't know what he was thinking.
I'm like, bro, I'm not about to watch this video if you can fuck.
It's on my surveillance. He then spent months drunkenly yelling at her on a live stream until years later she sued him and forced him to admit of his sin in the town square. The lawyers deny most of the case, but they admit that what I have said is true. Now, I read about a god named Ken or Kendrick contacted me about this. I don't know much about the dragon known as Drake, but as I understand, a rapper is sort of like the dark form of a bard, and the dark ones of the underworld do indeed dance to these tribal drum beats on crowded subway cars. Now, having exposed your allegations and the disorder it brings to your family, I hereby challenge you to adore Mr. Academics. If that is your real name, thou must face me in the shadow realm and reclaim your tarnished honor. I did that backwards. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be like
What was the card? Oh, it's Xavier Ravenblood. He has his own Yu-Gi-Oh card. Very nice. Yeah, black people rape, Jen. I'm glad you figured that out. Okay, this is the last one. For real, I promise. Red-bearded Ward for 30 says, "It's not funny, I'm sorry. It's testimony of an expert saying that a window log of an unauthorized access to a voting server is not a problem because it's a Windows log." Yeah, that sounds like the American election system. I'm glad that we've sorted this out. Okay, I will not read any more super chats, but there's just one more second of content, chat. As I mentioned last stream, the debate, one of the things mentioned during the debate, which kind of took people by surprise, is that Trump blatantly said that in Springfield, Ohio, the 20,000 Haitian migrants dumped there have started eating kittens and dogs and ducks. This statement was profoundly bizarre if you don't know the context, and it left Kamala Harris shaking her head in disbelief. He was getting live debunked by the moderators. Trump would interrupt the live debunking to say, "No, actually, I saw it on TV, trust me." And then the Republicans responded by putting up a Eat Less Kittens Vote Republican board to try and capitalize on the liberal white woman vote that may be repulsed by Haitians eating kittens. So, but a man watching this live debate through the lens of Hassan Piker thought that this was so profound that he made a song for it. And the Trump-tards took this song and started running with it. And he cried on the internet and says, "If you're reading this, fuck Trump. I'm literally a socialist. This is not a pro-Trump song." Then he updated his name to say Benny Johnson can eat shit because he was laughing at this video. It's stuck like this now and it won't let me change it back. What the fuck? And here he is. He's a strong guy. He's a big, strong, manly man. He fights for the minorities so that they can eat the kitty cats. And this is his song. It's pretty good. And it will be our outro song for this stream. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. And bye-bye.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. Yeah! And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. And this is what's happening. Dogs. People on television.
There have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
But the people on television saying the dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. And this is what's happening. People on television. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating